Once again, I'm going through my 3-year strategy here, and I'm looking at tight ends, and you guys should. This is an easy one to figure out. Name tight ends that have been in the top 10 the last 3 years.
You want to go look at my dynasty team?
Yeah, it's probably Travis Kelce, and I don't think Mark Andrews was in the top 10 the last 3 years because he got hurt 2 years ago, didn't he?
He was in it in 2022, and he was in it. He was actually the number 1 receiver in 2021 for tight ends.
Okay, so he did just barely make it in.
15.
But he did not make it last year.
The only other one I could think that could possibly is Dallas Goedert, but Goddard got hurt last year, so I don't know if he squeaked into the top 10 this most recent year.
Okay, it's Travis Kelce game. Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Those are your two. That have just fallen into into that upper echelon of tight ends. I mean, we're looking at Hall of Famers right now. When you're looking at the tight end position, I mean, we're looking at Hall of Famers. I mean, Gronk, he retired, just a couple of years ago, and just imagine all these great tight ends during this particular generational run.
It's the greatest generation of quarterbacking. It's the greatest generation of tight ending.
So, for me, it's pretty simple for me. I'm going to take Travis Kelce number 1, and the number 1 reason for that is the fact that that's the security blanket for Patrick Mahomes. Rashee Rice, we don't know exactly what's going to happen to him with the stuff that's going on. I think that the drive to three-peat is so strong for these guys that I just really think that Kelce's is going to dominate. George Kittle is number 2. Once again, we got San Francisco. Then we get into the next 3 for me. And once again, I'm on the Lyons bandwagon. I got Sam Laporta. I just think that's just going to blow up over there. Number 4, he's been in the top 10 twice here over the last 2 years. In fact, he's the 4th ranked tight end in 2023 and 2022, and that's T.J. Hawkinson, and that's exactly where I've got him this year, 4th.
You're not worried about him missing like the first 4 or 5 games? It's going to affect us over. He can't finish in the top 4 if he misses 5 games.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be happy to see it.
Yeah. I'll take him 4th because we're talking about who you're picking 4th. I want the 4th.
Yeah, but if you're taking a tight end that early, I need somebody that's playing from day 1.
Yeah.
And that's not T.J. Hawkins.
Well, you got a good point, but I'm still going to take him.
That's
Number
fine.
5, Dalton Schultz.
Really?
Yes, I think you got to realize that Dalton Schultz has also been in the top 10 twice now in the last 10 years. He was with the Cowboys, who was the 3rd, and then last year with the Texans, he was 10th. I think it's only going to get better this year with the Texans. I've got Dalton Schultz, my number 5 tight end.
All right, well, I can't wait to prove you wrong, Kelly. So
we can prove you wrong, man.
I do agree with number 1, Travis Kelce. Absolutely, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He may not be number 1, but he's going to be top 5. He's been 1 or 2, I think, the last 6 seasons. It's been something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
This year, I think we see a bounce back from Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I got him as my number 2. I've got Lamar in my top 5 quarterbacks for a reason. I think Mark Andrews will be right there with him. And I think Andrews, we've seen a couple of steps off after he did have that number 1 overall tight end finish. He took a little bit of a step back. He has fought the injuries, but I feel real good about him this year. My number 3, this will kind of play into my sleeper a little later, so a little foreshadowing. Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Trey McBride, at the end of last year, the dude went on a tear. I know they're getting Marvin Harrison into that offense, but he's still going to be a rookie. He's still going to be learning. Trey McBride is going to be coming in. Him and Kyler have really shown that connection there. I really, really like Trey McBride. I got a feeling he's going to be the next great tight end. Number 4, I can't believe you didn't have this guy on your list. So your number 1 quarterback, who the hell is he throwing the ball to?
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid. If you're going to have him as number, and I've got him as a top 5 quarterback, and you notice all my top quarterbacks, I have their number 1 receiving option in one of these 3 places, and it's got to be Dalton Kincaid. It's going to be his 2nd year. I think he takes a leap. I think he has the potential to be that next tight end that is the number 1 option on his team. Because Trey McBride won't reach that just because of Marvin Harrison, but I think Kincaid can reach that this year because Josh Allen's got to throw the ball to somebody. And number 5 is George Kittle. Outside of Travis Kelce, he's the model of consistency when it comes to overall finish. The one bad thing about Kittle is he disappears sometimes. He can win you games. He can go for 10 for 150 and 3, but then he disappears sometimes.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with who's got the hot hand.
Oh, I agree, because you got McCaffrey, you got Kittle, you got
so many mouths, and
I
whoever's
agree.
getting it is.
But at the end of the year, he's still going to finish really well. He's going to be a top 5 tight end. That's how I see it.
What you got, Brendan?
Once again, for the next position of Travis Kelce is on the board. You take him. Because he is their goal line option. He gets, I want to say it was last year or the year before, when we were watching a game, and he had like 3 touchdowns in less than 50 yards, or something like that in the goal line. Because it's just goal line option, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. That's it. Number 2, I got George Kittle. I think George Kittle is only going to increase a lot if IU gets traded. But once again, he's consistent. You know he's going to be there. And when I'm picking these guys, I'm trying to get safe picks at this position because really every other position, you probably got, what, 10, 15 guys? I think tight end,
6.
after the top 6, there is such a drop-off that then it don't matter. You can waiver wire that position, almost. All right, number 3, I got Kyle Pitts.
I'd love to see it, man. The hype's there. It's just, as a person that I personally have drafted him in redraft leagues 2 of the last 3 years, I'm staying off of it until I see it.
We got to see how they use him, and I think that's a risky pick. I think it's a risky pick. You know, but that's it's your pick, bro.
And then I got Mark Andrews coming in after that. I think once again he is that Kelce Kittle range. I think when he gets back there.
He's the number 1 option in his offense.
Well, y'all are not worried that Derrick Henry's going to get the football a lot. Y'all are not worried the fact that you've got the receiving core has picked up some.
That is his number 1 throwing.
Mark Andrews is the number 1 target in that offense. Derrick Henry, I think he will be good for football. He's probably going to have about 10 touchdowns. He's not going to have some 1,400 yards and 20 touchdowns.
No.
It's not happening.
Really?
No.
I think he's going to get 1,500 yards, and I think he's going to have 12, 15 touchdowns.
I hope you're right, but I do not.
I think
you're
he'll,
right.
in my honest opinion, I think he'll be around the 850, 900 yards because I don't think they're going to just use and abuse him every game like he's been done in the past in Tennessee. I still think his touchdown numbers, I think 12 is probably his ceiling in touchdowns. I like him, but he's not going to take away from what Lamar does with that offense.
And then I got Kincaid. I think in Buffalo. So we almost had the same people.
Almost. I like Laporta, but again, I think in order for other options to flourish in that offense, somebody's got to take a step back, and Laporta had insane touchdown numbers last year as a rookie, and I think we see a little bit of regression.
Yeah, I agree with that.